about summer programs, I just wanted to kind of remind everyone about the different resources that the College and Career Center has to offer. So one thing that we help students out with is obviously talking about college. So if you need help with building a college list, and you need help, for example, finding more safety target or reach schools, definitely feel free to reach out and we can sit down with you to figure out what you're looking for in a college. And then we can look at your academic background. We'll take a look at your GPA, what you've done throughout high school, and we can help identify colleges that might be a really good fit for you based on all of that information. So Mrs. Felipe is the college counselor at Mountain View, and Mrs. Price is the college counselor at Los Altos High School. So if you are a senior, you can schedule an appointment with your college counselor in the fall. And then if you're a junior, you can schedule a college counseling appointment in the spring semester. So feel free to reach out to them and schedule an appointment if you need to. And then the College and Career Center staff are also able to help you with career exploration. So if you feel like you don't know what you want to do after high school, which is most students, right? You're really young, and it definitely takes some time to figure out like what you're good at, what you want to do, and what you can envision for yourself in the future. Then you can come and see us, and we can kind of show you some different tools and resources that you can utilize to help you figure out some different careers that might be a good fit for you. So one of the biggest things that we'll recommend is that you take an assessment in Naviance. There are around 6 different career assessments in there, and how they work is it'll ask you different questions to figure out what your interests are, what your hobbies are, what your favorite subjects in school are. And then based on how you answer the questions, it will give you a nice list of different careers that are a good fit for you. And so what's cool about that too is that there are so many careers out there. And a lot of the times I feel like we only hear about like the most common types of careers like nurses and doctors and teachers. But there's so many different options out there. So it's nice to kind of take an assessment and see all of the amazing options that you have. And then we also help students with financial aid applications. So once you're a senior and you're applying to colleges, we'll always recommend that you also apply for financial aid. And if you need help with that application, you can schedule an appointment with myself or Mrs. Duran at Los Altos or any of the college counselors, and we can sit down with you and guide you through that application. Of course, we are always available to help with college application assistance. So if you're, once you're a senior and you're applying to colleges, if you have any questions about the application or you want to schedule an appointment and you just kind of need a second pair of eyes to look over your application or your essays, again, feel free to reach out to myself or Mrs. Duran or any of the college counselors. And then finally, we post scholarship opportunities, different test prep options if you're preparing for ACT or SAT. And then we also post summer programs for you to apply to. Okay, so why is applying to summer programs or volunteer opportunities or any type of extracurricular activity important? So there's tons of different reasons why this is significant to you all. One is that it helps colleges distinguish one student from another. So if a college is receiving tons of applications and say they're looking at 4 applicants and every single one has a 4.0 GPA, they will then look at other things that the student has done to kind of help them set the students apart. So they'll look to see what type of extracurriculars the student has been involved with. Has a student worked a job? Have they given back to the community? They want to know what type of person you are. So they'll also look at those types of things, especially if you're applying to private colleges or UCs or any competitive college out there. And then it's also helpful for yourself to explore interests. So if you, for example, volunteer at a hospital because maybe you want to be a nurse one day, it's a great way for you to kind of have exposure to that field and to figure out if it's an environment that you enjoy being in and if it's a career that you could really see yourself working in one day. Volunteering, working a part-time job, community service, those types of opportunities also will help you develop new skills. Actually, any type of extracurricular activity will really help you develop new skills, whether that's joining a club on campus or a sport, really anything. A leadership opportunity will teach you how to lead a team or how to delegate tasks or just how to work with different personalities. So in addition to, it being something valuable to add to your college applications, there's a lot of self-development and self-growth that comes from extracurricular activities. And then colleges, again, are interested to figure out what you do outside of the classroom. So obviously, when they receive your application, they'll look at your grades, they'll know what type of student you are academically, but they also want to know what type of human being you are. So do you give back to your community? Do you feed the homeless? Do you volunteer at a hospital? Like, what is it that you're passionate about? What do you like to do? And what type of person are you? And summers really should be productive. So you really shouldn't be, lounging around all summer, watching Netflix and eating junk food every day. Colleges do want to know that you had a productive summer. And that doesn't mean that you need to be involved in 10 different things, but you should have, at least one thing that you have committed to over the summer. So try to find something that you really enjoy too. It shouldn't only be to impress colleges. It should be something that is meaningful to you and something that you actually want to do, because you definitely don't want to be miserable all summer. It is your time off. You should still have time to have fun and go on a hike with friends and go to a fun dinner with friends and do things that you enjoy to do. But again, colleges do want to see that you did something productive over the summer as well. So I always recommend applying for a part-time job. You learn so many valuable skills working in a job. It looks great on your college applications. And it's also really beneficial to you because you're earning money, right? So you have money to be able to hang out with your friends and do fun things over the summer. And then you always want to be active and be engaged in any activity that you're participating in. Okay, this is an example of two different students. Again, I kind of gave this example earlier. Both students are great. Both students are going to get into wonderful colleges. But I just wanted to show you. So if a college receives both of these applications, they'll see that they both have the same GPA. They both have the same SAT score. But you'll notice that Susie, so student A, she does have more extracurriculars listed on her application, but you'll also notice that she's been involved in these activities for a longer period of time compared to student B. So she did varsity volleyball in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. She volunteered for the Red Cross in grades 9 through 12. She worked a part-time job in grades 11 and 12. And she also volunteered for the homeless in grades 10, 11, and 12. So colleges definitely appreciate dedication and consistency. So if you join something just like here and there randomly, and then you start something and then you quit after like a month, and then you're listing all of these like short-lived experiences on your application, that's not going to look as desirable to colleges compared to things time. So, when you join something, if you are miserable and you hate it, like definitely don't stay if you're not happy. But I would just recommend that you give it a shot, give it some time. Sometimes when you join something, at first you might feel like you're not good at it, or you're not having fun, or it's not for you. But things take time. So you could end up coming around to it. You could end up getting really good at it. You could end up making a really cool group of friends. So give some things some time. And again, it looks so much better when you've kind of committed and dedicated to something for longer than, just a few months here and there. Okay, so when it comes to actually applying for and finding summer programs, you can go to Mountain View High School's CCC website. We post summer programs on there. So I'm just going to show you the site really quickly. So on our CCC website, if you go under more and then you click on summer programs, this is our general summer programs page. And so you can see different summer programs, the deadline that you need to apply by, the dates of when you would be participating in the program, and then a short description of that summer program. And then there's also some other outside resources for you to check out as well. So Teen Life also has really great summer programs that you can kind of filter through and see if something stands out to you, if something is nearby that you can apply to, and you can filter it by interest. And then also on our site, teenvolunteers.org is a really great website for volunteering opportunities. These should all be free. And you can just kind of filter through these as well and see if anything sounds cool or interesting to you, and then go ahead and apply. And then also there was another one. Unpaid internships at Stanford. So Stanford puts a really nice summer programs that you can look into and apply to if anything sounds cool or interesting to you. And again, these are all listed on the Mountain View High School CCC website. And our website it's super easy to remember. It's just www.mvhsccc.net. Okay. Okay, so going back to here, and then there's also, so I showed you, oh, and I forgot to actually show you on our website, we also have a volunteer guide. So if you go to the volunteer tab, there's this nice guide of different volunteer organizations that you can look into. And it's also based on interest. So there's volunteer organizations that focus on working with animals, some that focus on working with people with disabilities, working in the environment, food and meal programs, healthcare and hospitals. And then when you go to each section of the volunteer guide, you'll see information about each volunteer organization. So you can give them a call to inquire about volunteer opportunities. You can go to their website, you can send them an email, and you can read a brief description about the organization itself. And then also, I wanted to show you Lynbrook High School is part of Fremont Union High School District, and they have a really nice listing of summer programs as well for you to check out. So this is just all like on their website. So if you go to summer programs, they also have general programs, and then they have categorized each section by different majors. So there's business and leadership, art and music summer programs, health-related summer programs, humanities, international, STEM, and journalism. And again, you can read about like the description of the program. They have the links to the actual website where you would go and apply, deadlines, and then the length of the program. So those are three great resources that you can check out in addition to Teen Life and Teen Volunteer as well. Okay. And next, I wanted to talk about something that got brought to my attention a few years ago. So a lot of people tend to ask me like, hey, what is the best type of summer opportunity to do that's really going to stand out for colleges? Like, which activity will colleges appreciate the most? Which one has the highest value? And I asked this question to the UCLA admissions counselor, and this was his response. So I'm just going to read this off to you. He said, "What I have tended to tell students and their families is that just being busy and making themselves active during summer is what is important. They don't need to pay or attend any type of specialized program or event. Students can fill their time in anything they feel passionate about. Paying to attend a summer program versus volunteering to do research versus leading a sports camp or having a part-time job or taking summer courses would all be advantageous ways for students to stand out. So again, when it comes to summer programs, some of them are very pricey, expensive. And I don't ever want students or families to feel like you have to pay that amount in order to stand out. There's so many different options that you can do over the summer. So I talked about volunteering, there's community service. I talked about working a part time job. Even if it's like you have to babysit your siblings over the summer because your parents work and they really could use like the extra help, that also on your college applications. Colleges completely understand that students have obligations as being maybe like the older sibling in the house, or just being someone in the household that really needs to like step up and help out their parents, and they appreciate that. So if that's what you're doing over the summer, that's great too. Um, and also summer courses. So if you are near Dianza or Foothill and you can take a summer course, that also looks really great on your college application. And that's something that's free that you can do. So don't ever feel like you need to pay thousands of dollars to stand out. There's a lot of different options, and there's a lot of free options as well. And then these are this is the link again to the Stanford page with the different summer opportunities that they have. So you can just Google like Stanford internships for high school students, and you'll get to their website, and you can start to apply for anything that sounds interesting to you. And then this is just a guide of what I think students can be doing each year in high school, starting in their sophomore year. So during your sophomore year, hopefully you have gotten more comfortable with the high school environment. Hopefully you've made a circle of people that you can kind of lean on for support and go to and hang out with. And now it's kind of time to focus on your academics, continuing to focus on your academics, doing well in high school. And then also, I think sophomore year is a great year to conduct some career exploration. So again, I talked about Naviance. There are a lot of great assessments on there that you can take advantage of. And they're always pretty accurate too. So I've talked to a lot of students that have completed these assessments, and afterwards I'll ask them if they feel like their results were pretty spot on. And every time they say yeah. So these assessments are based on different like psychological theories and science, and things like that. So they're pretty accurate. I've taken it myself, and they're definitely pretty helpful. So feel free to check out those career assessments in Naviance. You can also ask yourself questions, like just do some self reflection. Some good questions to ask yourself when it comes to career exploration is, what am I good at? What are my favorite subjects in school? What drives me? Like, what gets you up every day? And what are your hobbies? Because sometimes there are, different careers out there that really align with your hobbies and what you love to do. And ultimately, that's the goal, is to find a job that A, the world needs, B, it can provide you with the lifestyle that you want to live, and C, it's something that you're good at and something that you actually enjoy doing every day. So it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like fun, almost like something that you look forward to doing. And then also in your sophomore year, you should, again, make the most of your summer, whether that's applying to a summer program, volunteering, finding a part time job, joining a sports team, etc. And then in your junior year, if you can, try to continue to participate in the clubs or sports or any other extracurricular activity that you joined in your sophomore year. So again, it's all about consistency and showing that you're dedicated to something. If you can, and if you haven't already, I would encourage that you try to take on a leadership role. A lot of private schools and UC colleges definitely appreciate students who have taken on leadership positions. It just shows a lot about like what type of student you are, and that you can kind of lead a team, and it shows that you can take on like a huge responsibility. And it's just really impressive to colleges when you are able to take on a leadership role. And then again, continuing those volunteer opportunities that you've taken advantage of. And it's your last summer before college applications. So you'll really want to make the most of it. So just making sure that you're, again, continuing to stay active and engaged. And then now I wanted to show you what college applications will look like. so that you kind of know what to expect, specifically when it comes to activities and awards. So in the UC application, they'll give you different categories. And these are the categories for activities. So it'll say awards or honors, educational prep programs, which can include things like AVID, extracurricular activities, other coursework outside of your like standard A through G courses, volunteering and community service, and then work experience. And so when you click on each category, it's going to ask you for some information. So it's going to ask you for the name of the activity. It's going to ask you to provide a brief description of what you did. When did you participate in this activity? Hours spent per week in this activity and weeks spent per year. And then which grade levels did you participate in this activity for? So it's really detailed. And I wanted to show you this because sometimes students think they can just like add a description and like the grade level. But I think it's really important that you keep track of everything that you've done throughout high school, and you keep track specifically of the details, because if you wait until senior year and you wait until college applications come by, it just becomes hard to remember all the details of what you've done and how many hours per week and how many weeks spent per year. So it's, if you haven't already done so, I would create an Excel sheet to just start tracking all of the activities that you've participated in and like how many hours on average per week you've spent in those activities. And then for the common application, it's going to be similar. So the activities that you can report include arts or music, clubs, community engagement, family responsibilities, hobbies, sports, work or volunteering, and other experiences that have been meaningful to you. So it's really similar. It's going to ask you to choose the activity type, and then it's going to ask you to indicate which grade levels you participated in this activity, the timing of participation, hours spent per week, and weeks spent per year. Okay, and then these are some additional tips when it comes to summer programs. So I mentioned earlier that some summer programs can be extremely pricey, but a lot of them do offer need-based scholarships. So need-based scholarships are for students who are considered to be maybe part of a lower income family. So if you feel like you could fall in that category and for need-based scholarships, then you should definitely search for those opportunities and apply for them. And then if you are eligible for a need-based scholarship, you most likely are eligible for an application fee waiver, and you'll probably also be eligible to have the deposit waived as well, if that is something that the summer program is offering. So not all of them will waive the fees, but a lot of them do. So just make sure you're looking out for that. And then a lot of summer programs do have like an early action or a priority application deadline or a scholarship deadline. So you'll want to just kind of be on the lookout for that information as well. And then finally, most colleges do offer some type of summer program. So if there's a college that you have in mind, or maybe you're going to be traveling over the summer and you know you're going to be in Florida, for example, all of summer, then you can check out like University of Tampa or University of Florida and look at the different summer programs that that college specifically offers. And then if it sounds interesting to you and it fits within your family's budget, then you can apply for it. And then this is an example of like a summer application organizer, just so that you can get an idea of how you can keep track of all of the applications that you applied for, or all of the summer programs that you applied for, and when you applied, and the website links. And it's just a way to keep organized if this is something that you're interested in. And then again, just a reminder, feel free to check out our website for summer programs. I went over teenlife.com. There was the teenvolunteer.org. Lynn Brooks High School, again, puts that nice list together of different summer programs. Stanford has some really great STEM related programs you can check out. So there's a lot of different resources out there for you to get started. All right. So hopefully that wasn't overwhelming. Again, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh my gosh, I need to go and sign up for an expensive summer program now or do a million things over the summer. Again, it's really just about finding something that you're passionate about, finding something that you enjoy doing, and doing that over the summer and being engaged and active, and just kind of avoiding lounging all summer and not really having anything at all to add to your application. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And now I'm going to take